In this hospital, they don't believe people should die alone. I'm on my way to meet Bangkok, who's one of the 5 volunteers who sits with individuals who are dying and have no family. You've been a volunteer now for about 3 years.
That's right.
What makes you keep coming back to do this?
The feeling of ability to make the difference for the person, especially towards these people who are just limited period left.
What do you normally do?
Usually I will actually talk to them, show care and concern, ask them about their well-being and all this, and make conversation with them.
Bangkok trained for 2 full days with palliative care nurse Shin and her team before he could join the No One Dies Alone program here at Alexandra Hospital. And he visits them in the months leading up to their death.
Because of the bonding, you find that the patients would tell you or share with you more things than what they would have shared with the family.
This way, the peace of letting go is something even those without families will know. Yet for those with families, letting go can be hard, very hard. Shin loves to read. She has a library of books on cancer. This Korean American was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer in 2005. After treatment, she was declared cancer-free in November 2006. But tests in August 2007 showed that she had a relapse. The cancer had spread.
We still have a lot of options available to us, maybe 6 or 7 drugs that we haven't tried yet. So they're talking about, this drug will improve your survival rate by 5 months, this one will improve it by 3 months, and they're talking in months instead of years, so that's not very encouraging. But you add up all those months and you get at least a couple of years out of it, and maybe by then they'll have found a cure.
It's this positive outlook that helps Shin face her fight against cancer, so as talking openly about her fears of the process of dying, even though she does not fear death itself.
Those days I thought 65 was pretty old, so I thought when I get to 65, I think what I'll do is climb Mount Everest, and if I die doing it, then I was going to die anyway, and what a beautiful place to die, with the open air and the mountains. And if I don't die and make it to the top, then hey, I've climbed Mount Everest. So I think the thing that I've always been afraid of is how I'm going to die. I don't want to die in a state where I'm helpless and pathetic. Right? And in a situation where I would be making all the people around me very sad.
How are you preparing them?
I think it's my job to let my friends know and my family know that I am going to die sooner than we all thought. So they won't be shocked. I want them to feel, she knew she was going to die and she had a great time up until the moment she died, and we should be happy for her for that.
Shin's relapse hit her husband harder. Anger was one response, that the relapse happened at all when Shin had been so disciplined as a cancer patient. Is he open to talking about it, or does he block it out, or what's it like?
We've had a few really serious conversations about it, and one of them was, what would happen now? If I were to die, in the coming year, what would he do? Would he leave Singapore, go back home to the U.S. with the kids? Who would look after the kids, because he'd have to work to support them? And so thinking about logistic things, and he said he was shocked at first and really upset in the beginning, but he's starting to get more and more used to the idea that he could lose me, and he needs to prepare for that for the sake of the kids.
How has speaking about it helped your
it helps me to know that Shin knows what I'm feeling. I don't feel so alone with that feeling. I see her so strong, and I wonder, is she in denial? And then we talk about it, and I realize, no, she does have those same fears, and it's just that she's addressing it and trying to be as strong as she can. And I just kind of understand a bit better as I see her deal with things day to day, that where she's coming from, and knowing what she is feeling at the same time. So it just puts everything into perspective a bit better.
The couple's children, Josie and Toby, are their source of strength. Even though Josie is only 4, she knows Mom has to go to the doctors every week.
Well, my 2-year-old is too young to talk about it. I've had a number of conversations with my 4-year-old about it. She's actually asked me a couple of times, "Are you going to die?" And I said, "Well, yes, I am, but so is everybody else." And lately, since this recurrence, I've made a point of telling her every night when I tuck her in that I will always love her and I will be in her heart. I put my hand on her heart, and I say, I will always be there, even when I'm not. And I even test her to see if she got it and say, "So where am I going to be if I'm not around?" "In my heart, Mommy." So I'm sort of training her to think of me as always being with her and always in her heart. Sleeping until noon, should we go and wake them up with a merry tune? They're so...
How do you live, Shin, when you know that you're dying?
tired. I think just by living until the day that I die, just carry on living. And I always want to be alive to the moment, until the moment I die.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light, wrote Welsh poet Dylan Thomas. And that is exactly how these families are facing death, with the joy of life itself.